I showed you much you cause with your pain. If I spoke, would if I die, would you ignite me? If I was empty with my lies, would you run me?
Lukewarm Saint. Yes, that's the cover of my new book. Good morning, guys. How we doing? Just hanging out. Waiting for a couple more people. First time scoping in a couple of weeks. I had decided I was done with the format. I don't know. As a business person, as a person who wants to help others, I had just decided that I didn't want to do this anymore because I just felt like I see so much content that doesn't do anything for me, and I see so much content that I believe is hurting people that I just didn't want to be connected to it. And then I had a conversation with my friend Stephanie C. Harper, and not only is she a friend, she's a business associate, actually flying out to Napa Valley in February for her Quintessential Queens conference and retreat. Look that up on Facebook. And I'm one of the speakers. There's my daughter back there getting frustrated. And I had decided that, in talking to her, because it was funny, you know, I'm the one that had introduced Periscope to her and was saying, you got to get on, and she explained all the benefits and the positives. But then I had kind of lost it for myself. And then last night I was up late promoting my new book, Lukewarm Saint, getting some orders together for some of the other things that I do. And as I was getting the book orders together, and I sell custom slides. They're custom footwear. I think I have a picture here. I'll show you too. But I realized that I needed to, actually I'll show you what else I do. Let's turn this around. Okay, so I'll bring up the computer screen and I'll try to bring up the slides to show you. So these are the custom slides. I can take any, at the company I work with, we can take any logo that you have or a high-res picture, and we can actually design the slides for you. You put the name that you want on the side, and then we put your logo. So if you're a team or an organization, even authors, you can put your book covers, because that's actually what I did. I have a pair that has my book covers on it. And so this is just one of the other things that I do. I'm not a person that's going to sit pat. As you can see, they send me the logo, and once I have their logo, then I can create the slides. And so I had to get those orders together because the company sends them to me, and then I send them out around the country to people that want them. And actually, it is actually pretty cool. They're very comfortable. Actually, I have a couple of pair myself. And so as you can see, this is what it is. And thank you for you guys that's joined. Let me turn this back around. So you would think, as a speaker, as a businessman, as an author, all those things, as an entrepreneur, I own my own business, as well as I teach all week. I'm in elementary school this year, and it is definitely a new experience. You would think with all the different hats that I wear, I would be excited to get on Periscope. Well, I actually wasn't, because I don't know how other people feel, but I don't like to be thrown into areas where I believe what I'm saying is going to get absorbed by the foolishness going on around me. I'm not cool with that. I don't like to try to fight all the time. Okay, yeah, definitely. Log back out, log back in. That happens sometimes based on the connection. So good to have you, darling. Good to see you. Shalom. Thank you for coming in. And I had just decided that, you know what, I'm not going to bother. I'll promote some of the other ways. And then last night, I was up late. I had to catch myself because I thought about it. I said, and actually I'm trying to bring my book cover back up. I thought about it and I said, you have a new book coming out. You have information that can help folks. I never scoped with the idea of being popular. I don't live my life for being popular. Anybody that knows me, I could care less about fighting for the limelight. I just want to make sure people are helped. I try to make sure that I am a resource. Hey, Shiloh, good to see you back. I try to make sure that I am a resource to the individuals that I do business with. Thank you so much for the heart. And that's actually what I try to do. And when I speak to other business-minded individuals, again, I try to bring something to the table, not just take something off the table, because as I have said in many scopes before, to me, it's not loading. All right. Try again, because that's actually a Periscope issue, because I've gone through that too, where sometimes I have to log back out, log back in. And if it just doesn't work, come back and watch the replay. You can come back and watch the replay, and make sure when you do, you give a couple of hearts. And I know you guys have watched me before. You know, I always talk about heart pimping, but I'm realizing that in this medium, it's necessary. So I am going to ask that when you're watching, please give hearts, because it helps move you up the popularity ladder that they have here on Periscope to get your messages to other people. But let me just take a step back. If this is the first time you're joining or you're watching this on replay, my name is KLBELVIN. I am an author, entrepreneur. I am an educator, father, loving husband. I wear a mentor, speaker. I wear many hats. And when I scope, I try to bring to the table what I might be thinking at the particular time, because I think folks have to plan out their scopes better. I see a lot of randomness, which is fine, but you want to give a solid message, because if people are going to spend their time with you, if people are going to take time out of their day to listen to you, come find you, and you got to give them something. It's the same way when I'm called upon to speak, when I'm paid to come and speak, I make sure I have a plan of action that is going to be entertaining, informative, because that's what people deserve when you're paid to do something. Just like as an author, I have a new book coming out, actually, and I'll show you the cover of that new book. Good morning. Hey, love, I've been watching your scopes. I can't watch them live because a lot of times you do it when I'm teaching, so I watch the replays. Great job. Great to see APS Books in the building. And if you guys are watching the replay, APS Books out of Chicago, wonderful independent store. You need to support them. And Miss Jackson, I will be getting in touch with you soon, because when my new book is officially released, I will make sure that I send copies to APS Bookstore. They will be the only bookstore in the country that I'm going to place my books in at the moment. And the reason being is I felt that what Miss Jackson was doing with her bookstore, what her vision was, matches my own. Plus, I'm not fighting and arguing with bookstores about what happened to my books, all my books being sold. She is in fantastic communication with me. I like how she started. I like the way she runs her business. And so other bookstores, if you want to get my book, this book, or the other books that I've written, from Gigolo to Jesus, Man in Transition, poetry, as well as my memoir, we can talk about it. But this initial book, my third book, Lukewarm Saint, will only be, if not on my website, the only bookstore to be in is APS Books and More in Chicago. And I appreciate that. And hopefully I'll get the chance to get out to Chicago and do a signing and some other work with Miss Jackson directly. But for now, we do it via the internet. And these are the other reasons why I have to come on and scope, is because there's other people that I do business with who I have to promote also. As you heard me mention earlier, Stephanie C. Harper. And again, the people that I do business with are not just random faces. It's not just send me an invoice, here's some money, and that's it. I get into what their message is. I want to know who's behind the business. That makes a difference to me. And so I'm not just going to randomly choose someone to do business because there's an opportunity to make money. I know a lot of people do that. I won't. I am very selective. Now, I also know that people are going to say, well, you're going to starve like that. No, I'm not. This is the reason why I wear multiple hats. And because I wear multiple hats, there's multiple streams of income. So I'm not stuck in any one particular area and have to worry about being fed from that particular area. As you see, I'm a big guy, so I'm not starving. I'm also going back to grad school in January to work on my second master's degree. This one will be in Christian ministry / counseling, because I have some ideas of some things that I want to do, and it's not connected to the church. And I really hate that when you mention ministry, that people automatically connect it to the church. Ministry is ministry. Ministering to individuals is one of the things that churches do. But just because I say I'm taking up ministry and counseling, it doesn't automatically mean that I'm going out to start a church. It means I'm finding new ways to help people through the faith that I have. That's what I'm about. And I'm not knocking the churches, nor do I try to knock churches. Actually, churches are who I am focusing on in this new book, is that I want to do business with churches because I want to sit down and find ways to extend what I do to help individuals. I want to find ways that with all these individuals that we have going to churches every Saturday, Sunday. Hey, love, how are you, butterfly? I want to find ways to help people. Like, there are people now who are so anti-church that even when they're in need, they won't turn to the church. Something's wrong there. And that shouldn't be. And everything that I'm talking about is the reasons why I felt it was time to come back to Scope, because I felt my voice was needed. And as arrogant as that may sound, I just felt, I believe it was, I can't think of the philosopher, but you should become what you want to see in the world. And that's actually what I'm doing. I'm not looking to others to try to be like them. I'm trying to be what I want to see in this world. And yes, I want to be someone that people can rely on to be there to help them. Thank you for sharing, love. And I appreciate the hearts. So that's how I choose to do business. And even here on Periscope, I'm not worried about how many hearts I have. Do I need them? Yes. And I appreciate the hearts. Do I need them? Yes, because it moves my message up. But I know some folks who will spend so much time worrying about the hearts that they forget what their message is supposed to be. As a speaker, I'm coming here because I'm hopefully making sure my message is cognitive enough that when you hear it, it gives you something to think about long after I've signed off. And as an author, I pray that I've created something in my new book, Lukewarm Saint. Again, I'll show you the cover. I believe that I've created something in this book that folks are going to enjoy. And as you see my man here, my covers are never similar. So none of the books from my company, BraveN Publishing, are similar. So in this particular one, character here, my man Kevin, is a guy, an educator who loves the ladies, but he's torn between what he knows is right and what he knows is wrong. He has two friends, one on each side. Why? Because one friend is like, you need to turn your life over to faith. And the other friend is like, man, bed down as many women as you can. Mother and grandmother, grandmother, mother, whichever one works for you, are both trying to explain to him your legacy from your father and your grandfather was not one that was positive. Don't follow in that direction. But as you can see from his face, yes, he has his hands folded to pray. But you can tell from the smirk on his face, there's something behind that. And I wrote what I thought people would enjoy to read, but also I wrote realistically. Many of us know what's right or wrong. We do. As an educator, I see it all the time. I talk to kids all the time. As an educator, oh, you know what? Let me show you something else too. I always forget this picture. All right, this is my man on the back cover. You see that face right there? When the designer, Gregory Graphics out of Philadelphia, designed the cover. You see that he is frustrated. You see that look. And the reason why I'm so glad that he added that, and we had a discussion, and I'm going to tell you something. If you need a book cover, Gregory Graphics is definitely one of the guys I use. I've used multiple designers with my company, and my company is www.bravin, BRAVIN, publishing.com. I've used many different graphic design artists with the various different books that we've published, as well as the ones that I've written. But the reason why I like Gregory Graphics is because we had an online conversation when he came up with the idea, and he brought the cover up, and we were able to go over the cover together. So I like the fact that he used technology for us to have a meeting. And he was touching things up as I was speaking, but he listened and then asked me to send him the first chapter so he can get a feel for what I was trying to do, and then he created. So I really thought that was interesting. And so that look on the back cover, and again, I'm going to show you that because I actually kind of dig it, is that many folks who know the difference between right or wrong will go from looking like this to, in private, having that confused, dazed look about what their purpose is or what their situation is. And you see a lot of it in social media, where their public persona, and I heard a friend of mine, I got to give him credit, former friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name. I'm just going to say a former friend of mine. I'm going to give him credit without saying